Hey there, in this video I want to talk to you about the wound of neglect. The wound that is a consequence of the emotional absence and the emotional immaturity of our society and our consciousness as a whole, and therefore our teachers, our political leaders, our caretakers, and our parents. And it's also the number one reason or the number one cause that you are not able at this moment in time to love yourself fully or to love yourself at all. So what do I mean by that? Well, as I already told you, our society as a whole isn't really emotionally mature and emotionally present and emotionally intelligent right now. We're just evolving our emotional intelligence. We're just learning the importance of being emotionally present with your children, learning how to deal with your own emotions, even learning how to feel that you have suppressed emotions inside of you and that they are subconsciously dictating your life. So in the past, as a little child, when you come into this planet, you land into a very hard, cold, rigid, suppressed, oppressed, and confusing world. And as a little child, because of that, you have all these kinds of negative, confusing experiences or even traumatic experiences inside your family system or in your school system or in your religious system, etc. And because we are not really emotionally mature, intelligent, present, and aware, our parents aren't capable of giving us what we need as a little child in the society that we are living right now. What happens then is if you as a little child experience something that is overwhelming, confusing, that you cannot handle, that you don't know how to deal with. So to say you experience heavy, intense emotions that you don't know how to deal with, and nobody is there to stay present with you, to stay present with your emotions, to teach you about what is happening to you, because they are not capable of doing that themselves. They neglect you in some way in one of your basic needs, and that is emotional connection and learning how to deal with your emotions, emotional intelligence and awareness. So you are neglected in an emotional way in some way. What happens when you feel emotionally abandoned and you don't know how to deal with what you are experiencing during confusing, chaotic, messy situations or even traumatic experiences or negative experiences from your childhood, and you don't know how to deal with what you experience, the heavy, intense emotions inside of you, and you don't know what is happening and you don't understand what is happening all around you because you do not have the intelligence of reading the situation in an objective manner, is that you internalize the situation. Because in your child brain, everything is about you and your survival. You interpret the situation as if it is your fault, or you are guilty, or you are a bad person because this and this is happening, or you are not worthy, you're not good, you're not perfect, your behavior is bad, or whatever is going on in your child's brain and in your mind. You internalize the situation. So confusing, chaotic, messy situations with lots of emotions, pain, intense and heavy feelings cause you to believe that you are at fault, that you are doing something wrong, that you are the one to blame, that you should feel ashamed of who you are. And if nobody is there emotionally present with you, understanding what is happening with you, nobody is there to tell you that what you are internalizing isn't true. Nobody is there to tell you that the story you are creating about yourself isn't true. So you are neglected. And the wound of this neglect is that you, from that day on, from that experience on, you stop loving parts of yourself and you start with suppressing parts of yourself out of shame, out of fear, out of guilt. So what do I mean with messy, chaotic, traumatic, or negative experiences? Well, this can be everything from your parents always fighting to one of your parents being addicted to a substance, for example, to having a very dictatorial father or mother, to having a narcissistic father or mother, to being abused or even raped, to being told what to do, what to wear, to be perfect, to smile, to nod, to hug everybody even if you don't want to say yes when you feel no. You can be manipulated by one or two of your caretakers or parents into doing things that you don't want to do. A divorce from your parents, one of your parents cheating, being in a war, having to flee your country, or more societal, like as a woman you have to be blonde, skinny, and always smiling and being soft. You don't get to be mad or hysterical or whatever. Or as a man, you don't get to show your feminine side, your expressive side, because that's just not something you do. That's not manly. And as a child, when you are, for example, at school and you're a little boy and you show your feminine side, you can get bullied for that. So bullying of course, is a very important traumatic or event or negative experience in your childhood that makes you create these stories of I'm not worthy of loving, I'm not worthy of making friends, I don't deserve to be loved because I'm not manly enough, etc. And from that moment on, you created this story, this deficiency story of why you are not worthy of receiving love, or why you are not capable of doing the things that you want to do, why you're not good, why you are a bad person, etc. And you created this story, and you just from that moment on started to believe that story and stepped into that story, or took it on as a coat, or you created this bubble and you stepped into that bubble, and that was your new view on reality and on life, your new paradigm of reality. You started to look at yourself differently from that moment on, and you suppressed parts of yourself and stopped loving those parts. And every time something similar happened, it felt as a confirmation. And you tell yourself, see, I'm not worthy. See, I'm a bad person. And you take those stories with you into adulthood, and they're still with you today. You still have this deficiency story inside of you that is subconsciously dictating your life, your choices, etc. And that is blocking you from loving yourself and from receiving love and seeing love in the world around you. So we are blocking the love that we so desperately crave because we do not believe that we're worthy of receiving that love. And also this story is holding us back from creating the life that we desire, from doing the things that we so desperately want to do, from going after our dreams. We do not believe that we're worthy of reaching those dreams or goals. We do not believe that we're worthy of receiving the money, for example, that is needed to create the dreams that we so long for. We do not believe that we are good enough. We believe that we should reach some state of perfection before we are even allowed to be seen, to be loved, to do the things that we want to do, to create our art, to create a new business idea that we have inside of us. Or maybe closer at home, we believe we have to be perfect in every relationship that we have before we are allowed to receive the love that we want as a human being, and that our inner child, the hurt parts inside of us that wants to receive love so desperately. But it is retrieving those lost, hurt, suppressed inner parts that we do not believe deserve the love, the recognition, the validation, the dreams, the money, the status, the acknowledgement that we so crave. It is by retrieving those parts, putting them into the light, seeing them for who they truly are, acknowledging them, giving them the love that they crave, that we dissolve the deficiency story that we have inside of us, so that we can love ourselves fully again in all those parts, so that we stop craving for the external love, right? Because we now see I'm perfectly imperfect. I'm okay just the way I am. Just because something bad happened in the past doesn't mean I'm a bad person. And we can put those suppressed and unloved parts of ourselves in the light, and we can see those parts, and we can slowly accept, maybe, that we did not love them up until today, and maybe we can even start with loving them from today on. And if that's not possible yet, then we can just accept that there are parts inside of us that we don't think deserve love, and that belief is subconsciously dictating our life and choices. We can bring that into awareness and just be okay with that and sit with that. Then we can finally stop with fighting ourselves, rejecting ourselves, not loving ourselves, understanding how we are blocking ourselves from creating change, from choosing the relationships we crave, from receiving the love that we crave, from seeing the love all around us that is already there, because love is always there. We are the ones that are capable and able of blocking that love or taking it in. We are the ones that are capable of deciding that we deserve the love despite all the beliefs that we have that we don't, or that we do not deserve love and keep it out. And that's not only recreating this deficiency story into a story where we do believe that we deserve love, it's also feeling the pain and the hurt and the anger and the shame and the guilt of why we think we do not deserve love. Retrieving those parts, feeling them, acknowledging them, accepting them. Understanding that the wound of neglect or not loving yourself always lies at the core of all your behavior and your choices. And becoming aware of that story that is living inside of you, and where and when it was created. It's not like that's a magic pill and from that moment on you will never reject yourself anymore, or you will fully love yourself from today on. And it's all magical and yalla yalla and a beautiful day in life. I think for me personally, every year, every half a year, I reach new depths into peeling off these stories and diving deeper into these wounds into the wound of neglect, into the wound of not loving myself, into the wound of rejecting myself, like feeling that you are sabotaging yourself and your relationships and not understanding why. And almost always at the core of all of that confusion, conflict, sabotage lies your deficiency story. And often it gets activated when you're stressed, when you are in environments where you do not feel safe, when you are in relationships you do not feel safe. You can have problems with trusting people or letting love in from people. So what is your story? What is the story that you tell about yourself? Why are you not worthy of receiving love? Why can't you love yourself fully? What are the parts inside of you that you do not love? Let's put them into the light and see them for what they truly are. Like, what do you reject so much inside yourself and why? Hey there, my name is Myrthe Glasbergen. I'm the founder of Beyond Psychology, and I'm also an occupational health psychologist, life and job coach, intuitive singer, and creator. And I am fascinated about the awakening and healing of humanity. I strongly believe that healed people heal the world, and this is why I'm doing everything I can to help heal as many people as possible. So if you're on a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, transformation, healing, and you want to rediscover who you truly are and change yourself in your life, then subscribe to my channel for more videos on all of these topics. And if you want to help spread this message of awakening and healing, then please like this video, share this video, respond to this video, because that will definitely help. In my subscription, you can find a nice link to a free somatic exercise to start your healing journey. And you can also find the link to my online platform and community for self-discovery, healing, transformation, and growth. It's called Heart Journey, and it's here to help you rediscover who you truly are, heal yourself, transform yourself in your life so that you will use your talents and your gifts to make the world a better place. Thank you for being here and have a nice day.